Chapter 5, be careful what you ask for. Personal note, this chapter became a sort of hybrid in terms of how it was delivered. It was an anomaly in the way the communication got here that involved both trance and clairvoyance, because as initially delivered, it seemed to be just a draft chapter somehow. When reading it, it felt as though it didn't examine its themes quite deeply enough, as it was intended to. Joseph explained that this was his fault, in inverted commas, as just prior to the trance session, he'd been involved in a demanding mission to prevent something disturbing from happening on earth. Looking at the written up chapter, I contacted Joseph for advice, and through a clairvoyant link, subsequently, with me sitting at the computer looking at the draft, he then gave me a great number of additions to the piece, particularly to the latter half of the chapter, until we arrived at a written form that Joseph was highly satisfied with. Just goes to show how much energy is required and was required in order to successfully bring through each chapter of each of Joseph's books. So, have you noticed how foggy it is outside? It's very foggy in this room too, isn't it? There's a fog around each of us in here. Have no doubt it's there. And in chapter 5, we take a journey into the fog that surrounds us all with Joseph. And we're taken through the fog with Joseph to ultimately discover that the fog isn't really there. Let's have a look at this. Chapter 5 expands on themes from a chapter in Joseph's first book, Revelation, need and lack. In this chapter, he tells us many people from the time they become independent of their parents until the time they move on from the earth plane are concerned and often preoccupied by lack every single day of their lives. From the moment they wake to the moment they go to bed, there's an underlying sense of loss, a sense of lack with them. They feel, for example, they don't have enough money. Joseph asks, have you noticed how even some millionaires want more money? They have more money than they can ever spend in a lifetime, but they want more and more and more of it. So many men and women are obsessed by the feeling that they are not rich enough, will never be rich enough. There's also a feeling of lack with the human race with regard to health. People never feel healthy enough, says Joseph. They worry, they expect something is about to go wrong with them at any moment. It's as if they want something to go wrong. They live in constant fear of something going wrong, and then do everything they can to focus on that something going wrong and to manifest it within themselves through their lives. So many human beings fear lack of finances, of health, of love, and this is a key theme in chapters 4 and 5, a lack of love. The lacks we feel, finances, health, love, are all expressions of a subconscious feeling, a belief that we are separate from God. When we feel we don't have enough money, we are in reality believing that we lack the infinite abundance of God in our lives. And that is a nonsense, says Joseph, because God is you. And through your link with him, he feeds your body with energies and feeds your life at every twist and turn and fulfills your needs. You are always looked after. The divinity within you is saying to you, choose me. Don't choose poverty. Don't fear a lack of finances on a daily basis. Believe in my ability to do so, and I will give you fruit, abundance, wholeness. Our fear of lack of health is at source the same fear as our fear of lack of finances. Our fear of not being loved by others is at source the same fear, because we want God's love and believe consciously or subconsciously that we haven't got it. We have thickened the fog between ourselves and God, a barrier that originated all those years ago. This is the true meaning of original sin. This is where the term originates from. The original sin or mistake, misstep, was to take ourselves away from God in consciousness and subconsciousness, and as a result of distancing ourselves from the love we are a part of and is always with us, we thicken that fog that prevents us from remembering that we are a part of the whole and can never, ever be separated from that whole. And as a result, we feel we don't have enough love. What we want, we must give away. In giving it away, we reunite ourselves with the whole. Do you see that? Asked Joseph. If you feel lack of finances, then by giving finances to someone else, you reunite yourself with the whole of mankind. You re-establish your belief at soul level that you are a part of God and that God is limitless flow and limitless abundance. And by doing that, you allow abundant energies to flow through the fog, to disperse the fog the human head mind has placed between us and God. When we give to divinity, via his children, divinity gives back to us with interest. That is divine law. If we are afraid of illness, then we have to give our worries about illness over to God. We have to say, I am perfect because God is perfect. I release those worries. In releasing our perceptions of illness and saying, they don't matter, they're not here, I give them over to you, Father, we allow God's energies to flow more strongly through us and we become healthier. If we want love, we must give love out. By saying, I don't have love, we strengthen that belief. We draw more of that fog, that barrier around us. We isolate ourselves. We must work to see the love we want in our own lives manifesting in the lives of others.
Love is a flow of energy. Energy, by its nature, has to flow. Abundance is an incoming and an outpouring of energy. Health is an incoming and outpouring of energy. Love is an incoming and an outpouring flow of energy. And you have to reconnect to that flow. Everything in God's universe operates by give and take, by sending out and a drawing in. But you have to send out before you can draw in. And the joy is, as you send out, you draw in automatically because God feeds you. I have to stress that at no time is God making a judgment in any of his donations of energy to you. His energy, his fulfillment, his love, his abundance, his health are always there for you. They are with and in you now. It is you who is making a judgment and saying, I'm not worthy of these things. I don't have these things. I need to worry about these things. And all the time you build that barrier between you and God's sustaining and healing light.
I want to see each of you being rich, loved, fulfilled, and wanting for nothing, says Joseph. You must let go of your perceptions of negativity to provoke a high energy response from God. Let go of your perceptions of lack in order to find abundance. You must embrace and give out your ability to love in order to be loved. All these things are then yours forever. And a closing thought from Joseph. What you do not understand is that the experiences you bring to God carry with them a request for more of the same energy to be given back to you from him, no matter what you're asking for. Chapter 6, neutralizing your fears and temptations. Now, I'm old enough to remember slide projectors and slideshows. Now, as a child, on occasion, I would be taken along to the homes of some of my parents' friends, excited by the prospect of a slideshow. The curtains would be drawn. The lights would be turned off. The beam from the projector would shine out. And then, very quickly, I would become hugely disappointed. Then bored witless. A slide after slide of people I didn't know, pointing at things I didn't care about, was projected onto a creased off-white bedsheet that had been temporarily taped onto someone's living room wall. Now, sometimes there was even the extra special treat of a film show. Silent, of course, no sound, except for the whir of the film projector. You were still looking at people you didn't know, who were still pointing at blurred things in the distance you didn't care about, but at least now they were moving. You'll laugh, the host would say. Look at this slide, ha-ha. I said to Muriel, is that a cow over there? No, silly, she said. What's wrong with your eyes? That's a sheep. They look like cows around here. And here's another slide of them I took around 45.2 seconds later. Look, there's one in the distance. It looks like a cow, doesn't it? Just like a cow, but it's a sheep, really. And so on. Now, I mention projectors because Joseph explains that the head mind is a projector. And we as spirits on earth, minute to minute, imagine, dream, create, and then push our creative intents and wishes through the matrix of our head minds, through our head mind projectors. And it is the head mind acting as a projector that turns those wishes, whether they are conscious or subconscious wishes, into form. We cannot stop being God in the way that we operate. But chapter 5 is not only a chapter about projection, it's also about gremlins, a related subject, as we shall see. Let me explain. As spirits on earth, we carry around our fears, and those fears tempt us. What we fear, we give strength to, says Joseph. He explains that we cannot fight any temptation, anything we fear, anything we doubt, by resisting it. By resisting it, we help to give it form and strength. What we have to do instead is completely take our mind off our fear. Not to say there is no such fear, because in saying there is no such fear, in affirming we have no such fear, we acknowledge that there is such a fear. What we need to do instead is take our minds off our fear completely. Offer no resistance whatsoever to anything we fear, to in a way welcome it. Because in welcoming a fear, embracing it, putting our arms around it, loving it, we take it back into our soul, and the higher molecules of creation then absorb it and transmute it and get rid of it for us. Where do gremlins come into this? Well, how often have you come off the boil following some angry moments and thought, how could I have been like that? What made me so angry? Why did I want to stoke that anger? Why did I want to go beyond my own anger and become more and more violent, more and more outraged, more and more indignant? Why did I say the things I didn't want to say, didn't mean to say? And why, from this position of relative calm now that I've calmed down, does that episode of anger seem like it was another person talking to me and not myself and talking through me? It's because in moments of anger, we activate, we bring towards ourselves, we attract thought forms that vibrate at the same frequency as and therefore add to our own anger. It's in the interest of those thought forms, because they have a degree of awareness, to stimulate our lower emotional responses so that we feed them with what they are hungry for, our baser energies, our lower vibrations, heavier vibrations. Becoming angry, be still, says Joseph. In being still, you allow the higher vibrations of your soul, of your heart, of your spirit to activate. And you push away the thought forms that are around you. You don't activate them when you're still and peaceful. You don't feed them with your energies. Be still. You have to take power back from the mind in order to be peaceful. You have to reseat power into your heart. Because we're all linked, because in any situation globally, we contribute to that situation via our perception of it. We feed energy into it, sent out through the projector of our mind. The nature of that energy being dependent on our dominant beliefs and emotions.
If you would change this world, and this is what this book's about, you have to first recognize that your fears, your angers, and your prejudice have power, and that you have given them that power. You've created little devils, if you will, because of your own dominant thoughts. Fear has a certain frequency, anger has a certain frequency, and once you tap into that frequency, you bring towards yourself not only your own fears that are nested around you, but the fears of other people too. If you cannot become loving instantly, then become neutral. When you put your cars into neutral gear, they cannot go anywhere. If you put your desires into neutral, then the mind is stalled. It is not putting out any contributions negatively to what is happening in your world.
Well, chapter 6 is about dark things, about dark aspects of ourselves, but only in understanding darkness can we see the light and the power of the light. I'm trying to give you weapons, in inverted commas, for the future, says Joseph. Weapons that kill no one, weapons that destroy nothing, but weapons that are potent in ending wars, fear, anger, perversion. Joseph emphasizes the need for the neutral way. The need for us not to pour anger and fear and thoughts of unrest into this world, and to check ourselves first before we criticize anyone else. to neutralize our own gremlins, our own nightmares. And we do this by recognizing when we are about to spark off bursts of negative energy that would pour power into our gremlins and into the world, and saying, stop. We need to be evolved enough, we need to be mature enough to stop, spiritual enough to stop in moments when we could potentially become angry. Peace starts with you, says Joseph. Harmony starts with you. The way home for lost souls here starts with you. Chapter 7, you possess the ultimate super weapon. Now, sadly, very sadly, there are quite a few weapons about at the moment, aren't there? Quite a lot of weapons are being used at this very moment somewhere. And a lot of people are dying and being maimed every single day because of those weapons. Men, women, children. And a lot of senseless, mindless destruction of property and land and homes and countries is taking place. How very sad. How very evil. Conventional weapons will never solve the problems of the world, says Joseph, no matter how many you stockpile, no matter who has the most, because there is always the potential that someone is going to use those weapons and someone is going to get hurt. Conventional weapons always cause damage to someone, to someone's, plural. I wish to introduce you today to a different weapon, says Joseph, to a weapon that affects life positively, that changes this world and keeps us safer than any conventional weapon ever could. That weapon is light. He explains that the nature of God light is to cleanse lower levels of vibration. Wherever there is a situation that involves heavy vibrations, negative thoughts and negative actions, God light cleanses, chases away, replaces those vibrations with higher, nobler, purer vibrations. And within the high vibration of God light, no evil, no negativity, no violence, no perversion can exist.
The thought molecules of the negative field of mankind cannot exist in a higher field of vibration. This is why you have such problems in communicating with us. Most human beings, unfortunately, exist within the greater field of the illusion, but also within personal fields that are tainted by negative vibration. Which of you at times is not sad, or depressed, or angry, or ill, or resenting, or bitter? And if you say, that's not me, then you shouldn't be reading this book. Each of you on earth suffers to a lesser or greater degree from the effects of the negative vibrations. And in doing so, you place around yourselves and within your aura a wall that, from your point of view, separates you from higher visions, from communicating with us, from seeing us on a regular basis. It also prevents you from having higher thoughts because your thoughts resonate at the same vibration, usually as the dominant vibrations within your aura.
So, the one weapon Joseph suggests we can and should deploy every single day is light. And the reason he recommends we use it is because it purges from people, when properly used, the negative vibrations they have accumulated during their lifetimes. How do we use light as a weapon? Via our imaginations. Each of us has an imagination. Each of us has an ability to create. In order to create anything, we first need to visualize it. We visualized it, and we then bring into being that which we have visualized, that which we have imagined. Joseph next says he wishes to talk for a little while about the effects of light on seemingly solid objects, and about the effects of light on the earth itself, because the earth is being strangled by the negative influence of the field at the moment. The earth, he says, is dying. The earth is dying. So as an exercise, Joseph asks us to take an object that is in our house. Something not of great value to us, just an everyday object, a cup, an ornament, a stuffed toy, something we really don't care too passionately about. He asks us to place that object in front of us during a meditation and to focus on it and send light into it, to see light streaming out from us and into the object. He asks us to do this for a week and to then hold the object and see how we feel about it, and we will see, feel, sense that love is now radiating out from that object. No matter what it looks like physically, it will now have love within it. And we will feel that object is special to us and should now have a special place in our home. We will have transmuted it. We will have transmuted the molecules of that object to a higher vibration of reality by dousing it in spiritual light. Nice. I think we'll keep this.
It's nice, that.
Yeah. B&M mug, £1 in the sale. Now this mug is neutral. Nothing in it apart from the vibrations of its creation. Do have a feel of that and pass it on, please, if you wouldn't mind. Sorry. Do have a feel of that. Pass it on, please, if you wouldn't mind. Just hold it and see what you feel from it. You shouldn't really feel anything except that it is a mug. These props come at very high cost. Just an ordinary mug. No magic here.
Any breakages must be paid for.
Yes. With a superior mug, yeah. Okay, I don't think we need to pass it all the way around. I think we can say that it is, but thank you, but it is just a mug. Thank you. Now, I would like you, we're going to do this just for 1 minute, one single short minute. I would like you, as this minute starts, to direct love from your hearts into this cup. See it streaming out from your hearts. See it streaming out from your fingers into this mug. See it being filled with light, love, affection, purpose, dedication. 60, 59, 58, continue, 57, 56, 55, 54, 53, 52, 51, 50, 49, 48, 47, 46, keep loving it, 45, 44, 43, 42, 41, 40, 39, 38, 37, see it illuminated, 36, 35, 34, 33, 32, 31, 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20. Almost there. 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Such a special cup. Such a special cup. See what you feel from it now. Feel the energy that's in it now. Feel the transformation that's taken place. It's not just a cup anymore. It is a beloved object. Now this very expensive and now very loved mug is going to go to someone later this afternoon. What we'll do is shuffle the questions and Jane will select a question. Are you demonstrating how we're going to do that? It is a complex situation, yeah. And someone will take it home with them. And you'll find that wherever you put this in your house, in the kitchen cupboard or wherever you use it, it will radiate love to you whenever you touch it, whenever you're around it. But of course, you can do this with anything
Can I
in your life.
put beer in it?
Sorry?
Can I put beer in it?
Just spirits. You can only put spirits in.
Spirit, yeah.
Yeah.
And
We can do this, as Joseph says, with the earth, with a tree, with a plant, with a field, with a house, with a mountain, with a stream. And this is how you change the earth, says Joseph. You put light into it. You put love into it. And some will put up barriers. Some souls will put up barriers and say, Joseph, I don't believe this can work. I've had no evidence that this will work. Don't use your physical eyes and your senses, he says. In the name of God, I tell you that this works. And you can prove it to yourself gradually through the person who is miraculously cured of their illness, and no one knows why except you. Through the situation you diffuse by sending light into it. And you think, I never thought such a positive conclusion could come out of it. Through the objects you infuse with love to change them, as we've just done with this cup, and which you are then attracted to because of the vibration you have put into them. It's down to you, he says.
before I close on this subject, I must tell you that it's very important in your households that you keep yourselves buoyant, that you forgive each other, that you fail to rise to petty argument, because in petty argument, in resenting each other, you increase the negativity that's within your auras, and you build into your houses, which should be sanctuaries of light, darkness, chaos, vibrations of greyness and darkness, which attract thought forms from the low levels that resonate at a similar vibration to other violent perceptions around your world, and you draw them to you.
So in this chapter, says Joseph, I have introduced you to the ultimate weapon. It's free. It doesn't demand physical resources. It doesn't cause suffering. It is light. And the time for us to wield it is now.